Okay, today we are looking at the order of operations and focusing on what is the effect of inserting parentheses into a numerical expression. We do have some key vocabulary here, some new vocabulary in this lesson. We have a numerical expression, and that is an expression that has only numbers and operations. So no algebra yet. We'll talk about algebraic expressions later. To evaluate, which means find the value of, or essentially solve or simplify a numerical expression, we're going to use a set of rules that we know as the order of operations. So, in the order of operations, we start with parentheses. Okay, so that's our first step. Then we evaluate the numbers that have exponents. We multiply or divide from left to right, and then we add or subtract from left to right. So I like to create a little visual. A lot of you have probably seen this, PEMDAS. Some of you might remember this by saying, please, excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So this is called a mnemonic device. Okay, so that's another way to remember PEMDAS. Or you can just think PEMDAS. So I like to create a little visual for this. So parentheses is what we do first, anything in parentheses. Then anything that has an exponent. Then the multiplication and the division. And those are kind of lumped together. And we just go from left to right, whatever comes first. And then same process with addition. Left to right, whichever comes first. So let's go ahead and try a couple of these. So we're going to go ahead and evaluate, we use the word evaluate, these expressions. So 12 minus 2 times 4. Remember that little dot? That means to multiply. So I have subtraction and I have multiplication. So if I look at my chart, multiplication is going to come first. So I'm going to show every step. So if I'm multiplying first, that's 2 times 4, that's 8. So I'm going to rewrite the problem, but solving that step. Now I'm just subtracting 12 minus 8, and I'm left with 4. So I do want you to show every step. Okay. Looking at the next one. 7 plus 60 divided by the quantity 3 times 5. So I'm going to start in my parentheses. So 7 plus 60 divided by, and instead of 3 times 5, I'm going to write that as 15. So I'm rewriting the problem every time to show my steps. Addition and division now. I'm going to work with the division. So I'm going to do 60 divided by 15, and here I get 4. So now I rewrite this, 7 plus 4, that becomes 11. All right, let's do another one here. So 30 divided by 7 plus the quantity, 2 to the third power, we're multiplying that by 6. So I'm going to solve what's in parentheses first, and in those parentheses, we need to solve the exponents. So I'm going to rewrite the whole problem. And instead of 2 to the third power, remember that means 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then we multiply by 2 again and get 8. So I just rewrote the problem again. Now I'm going to rewrite it, but solving what's in parentheses. Okay, and then I'm going to keep going here. I've got division and multiplication both. So now I just go from left to right, whatever comes first. So 30 divided by 15, there's 2 times 6. We get 12 there. Okay. All right, and the next one, 28 minus 20, we're dividing that by 4. So I'm going to do what's in parentheses first, 28 minus 20, so that becomes 8. We're dividing by 4, so we're left with 2. Last one here, 6 times 15 minus 10 divided by 2. So from here, I have the multiplication and division, so I'm just going to go from left to right. So I'm going to do the multiplication first. 6 times 15. So I'm going to think of 15 as a 10 and a 5. 6 times 10 is 60. 6 times 5 is 30. So my 60 plus 30 is going to give me 90. So now I have 90 minus 10 divided by 2. So now I'm going to go to the division. So 90 minus, that becomes a 5. So I am left with 85. Okay. I'm going to have you go ahead and try these ones on your own on the back here. You're going to complete those on your own to show me in class. But we're going to go ahead and work our way down to the word problem here. So these ones are on your own. Okay. All right, so down here, we're going to go ahead and mark our text first. It says you buy foam spheres, paint bottles, and wooden rods to construct a model of the solar system. What is the total cost? So what we're trying to figure out, I'm going to put a box around that question, what is your total cost? So we're going to use sort of a verbal model to set this up. So what that means is I'm figuring out what do I need to know here. So I need to add together the cost of all of my items. But if I look over here at the chart, okay, I'm buying 9 spheres, and those are $2 per item. So what I want to do, I'm going to write this out as the cost of 9 spheres. We're going to add to that the cost of the 6 paint bottles. And then lastly, we're going to add the cost of buying these 8 rods. So we aren't just looking for an answer here. Remember, we focus on the process. How did we get there? So we're showing how we get the answer. We could probably just add and multiply and figure this out, but we're going to show our work using order of operations. So what I'm going to do, my cost of spheres, I have 9 of them. They're $2 a piece. So that becomes 9 times 2. Plus, we have 6 paint bottles, and they're $3 a piece, so 6 times 3. Okay, we have 8 rods, and they're $1 a piece, so that is 8 times 1. So now we can simplify all the multiplication first. 9 times 2 becomes 18. 6 times 3 becomes 18. And then 8 times 1 becomes 8. Okay? And then we can add all of those together to get 44. So then I go back to my question and make sure I answer that in a complete sentence. What is your total cost? So I would say your total cost is $44. No naked numbers here.